So first and foremost, Dr. Ma, congratulations. And also, on behalf of the entire student body of De La Salle University, we would like to thank you for giving us some of your time. We know that your time is very precious, but nonetheless, we're very thankful for giving us time to learn more about your story and how you became an entrepreneur, and also to share the lessons that you've learned to us. Some of us are budding entrepreneurs. Some of us have different career paths, but nonetheless, as he said, a lot of the paths cross anyway, and majority of the industries will be connected. So I think it's very useful that we learn from one another.
And I'm pretty sure that basically everyone here in the audience is incredibly excited for you to share your knowledge and your experiences. And we're going to be starting the questions with dreams. Mikey?
Okay, so first, Dr. Ma, well, a lot of the time you talk about why it's important to, find your dreams. But the thing is, a lot of students nowadays find it difficult to figure out what they want to do with their lives. May we know your story? How did you get into technopreneurship? And how did you know that your dream belonged in establishing Alibaba and e-commerce, essentially?
Thank you so much. Yeah, a lot of people say, Jack, your time is so precious, and no, not necessarily. If your time do not spend on the things that you feel important, or something that you extremely love to do it, or you're not spending time for the future, that time normally no use. So spending time with the students, with the schoolmates, and discussing young people, because when I look at the young people, your eyes, it reminds me my past. So I think spending time with you is my honor. This is the time, the most valuable thing. Discuss about the dreams. I think like any kids, I had a lot of dreams when I was young, and most of the dreams never came true. Now I'm trying to, I tried to make, now when I'm 53 years old, I've been working very, very extremely hard in the past 30 years, 35 years. Now I think it's time to think about my childhood dreams, to sing songs and be an actor and painting, everything. I want to try everything because you have to work hard, then you can realize a lot of dreams that sound stupid and crazy when you were young. Let me say this. When I started, by the way, I said I worked very hard when I was a student in the university even. I was the chairman of the students' union of my university and for my city. I spent, I would say, 70% of my time serving in the students' union, supporting young people. That gave me a lot of experience, that working with the people relationship, helping people. By helping people, I get a lot of fun, and when I get more fun, I help more people. So this is why when I never got even one day of training to do business, when I start my company, I know how to deal with the other people. So it's not only knowledge that as a student that you should learn. You should learn how to serve people, how to work with people, how to team up with the people. So in the future, remember one thing, that we know IQ, EQ. If you want to be successful, you should have great EQ, because EQ knows how to work with people. No matter how smart you are, but you never know how to work with people, you will never succeed. Your dream will never come. It's just your dream. And then IQ is to make you not make stupid mistakes. It would make you live longer. And the other thing in the future, if you want to be respected, you should have LQ, the Q of love. Is also very important. So these are the things, when you have these skills, EQ, IQ, and LQ. Most students pay extremely attention to the IQ, but they don't pay attention to the EQ. If you don't have the LQ, you go nowhere. So all the dreams you have are based on these things. And I never know that I would be jumping into the internet time. And when I jump at the internet time, when I started my career, the 1995, I studied internet in China, and terrible years for 4 years, made a lot of mistakes and stupid mistakes and partner and all in a wrong way. 1999, when I started Alibaba, I told my team that we may not succeed, but somebody will. And I never know, and we never realized after 18 years, we can achieve that much. So if it is your dream, you can never go far. If it is a group's dream, you can go further. So I make our Alibaba dream, not my dream, it's a dream of 18 founders. Later it became a dream, today it became a dream of 60,000 people. And we make the dream, try to making sure that everybody, our dream is to enable everybody can realize their entrepreneurial dreams through the internet. So young people remember, don't worry about it, is that a silly dream? No, if you really believe it, it's a great dream. So believe something that you're really passionate about. Don't believe it because the other people think it is important. I never think, when most people like it, I don't like it. When most people don't like it, I will think about it. This is that you make yourself unique. You are you. And doing business is about, do anything is about because you are so unique. There are about 7 billion people in the world, but there is only one you. That's what we see. Yeah.
So, Dr. Ma, a lot of young people and a lot of students have a hard time sort of sticking to their dreams. So after one failed class or one failed acting audition, they immediately get discouraged. So what advice can you give to young people so that they can continue sticking towards their dream even in spite of all the obstacles?
Yeah, one thing, when you have a dream, you have to think one thing. The dream is great. The thing behind the dream is tough. Right? So when you want a dream is that you have to ask yourself, what do you want to sacrifice? Not say, I want to do anything to get my dream, but what are the things you really want to do? You have a failure, you have mistakes, people don't like you, people don't team with you, all the stuffs. When you have a dream, you have to think the backside of the dream very clearly. So everybody ask yourself, what do you have? Right? And what do you want? And very important, what will you give up? If you don't think about what will you give up, you will not have what you have. So when I start my business, I know internet 1995, 90s. Nobody believed internet in China will happen. So if I want to sell my products, I know today as a salesman, I go out, 10 people. If I talk to 10 business people always say no. Why people want to help you? People say, nobody helped me. Why people should help you? People help you, that is extremely you're lucky. People don't help you, that's very common. So when you go out, nobody have a deal with you, you say, yeah, I'm right, nobody deal with you. If you got one deal, you should be honored, extremely happy because you're extraordinary. So don't be discouraged when people don't help you. Why people should help you? You should earn the right to be helped. Right? So when you have a dream, you have to ask, what are the things you want to pay for the dreams?
Okay. So that's a very interesting perspective, Dr. Ma, really understanding what you're willing to give up. Now we want to talk about this role model that you've always often talked about in a lot of your interviews, Forrest Gump. Oftentimes, you cite this quote from that movie, "Life is a box of chocolates." But with that, we wanted to know more about how you stumbled upon Forrest Gump and what kind of different perspective in the world has watching that movie given to you.
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. The day I watched the Forrest Gump was in a friend's home in Seattle. And that week was my most frustrated, dismayed period. I was so upset. I was cheated by my friends, and I failed. Like 5 projects, all failed. So I almost just say, well, because the people I work with, they are very smart. And we know that internet was not easy in 1995, 1996, 1997, but we did not realize it's so tough. Then I happened to be in Seattle, in my friend's home, and he had a video, the Forrest Gump. We watched that evening, and I watched the movie. I think we have to stay foolish with our dream. Don't think we are smart. We have to stay foolish with our dreams, and we have to continue. Be simple. Like Forrest Gump is very simple. He's not a smart guy. He continued to do running. He thinks that, he said, nobody, he only want to make business benefit from catch shrimps. A lot of people want to make business, make money by catching whales, sharks, You got to do business with big companies. So I thought that time, yes, he's right. We should serve normal people. We should catch shrimps. We should supporting small business. So be simple, stay foolish, and no matter what, just to continue. And do not complain others. Only complain yourself. Checking, what's the problem with me? Did I change myself? Later I found a lot of people fail because when they fail, they always complain about the others. That's his fault, that's that problem, that problem. And only those people always check their own problems. These people survive. These people succeed. For years, for part of 18 years, I don't think Alibaba may complain a lot. If you complain, you have to have a solution. If there's no solution for complaint, don't complain. Right, that's it.
So in the movie Forrest Gump, you talked about the shrimp, right? There were basically days before they finally got that big haul of shrimp. So Forrest had to go through a lot of failure before he got success. With that, you've always said to young people that they should be able to learn more from their failures rather than their successes. What do you think the types of failures young people make that they should learn the most from?
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you that one day I was reading a biography of general after Second World War. And I feel impressed not is how much victories, successful battlefield that he achieved. I think, wow, if I were young man at that time, I could do better. But I was impressed by how many suffers, the terrible experience that he survived. That surprised me. The grandfather always tell us, Jack, I've been doing that much. I made a lot of mistakes. I'm still surviving. I said, wow. But if he say, I've been achieved that much, I say, hey, if I were your age, if I were at that time, I could do better. So people will feel proud when you tell your grandson about how much tough days you have gone through. I think one day I share with my kids, my grandchildren, how much Alibaba have gone through the tough days, the mistakes. Doing business is just like go to the battlefield. The survivor wins. No matter how brave you are, you're dead. People forget you within 3 days. But if you survive, you always have chance. And go to battlefield is that an experienced soldier know that how to hit himself and then fight. Young soldiers just to go out to fight. There are different reasons for success. There are various reasons for one person to be successful. But there are almost the same reasons for people who fail. Greedy, right? Wrong team, run too fast, with too much money. By the way, you will never make big mistakes where you don't have money. Right. So people say, if I have money, I'm going to do a big business. No, no, no. Remember that all the mistakes the other people made, you will make it. So you have to learn, if you want to be successful, learn the mistakes the other people, learn from the mistake the other people made. Not because you will avoid these mistakes, because you know how to face these mistakes and troubles when these things come. Right? When you suffer a lot of mistakes, we say, wow, this guy's coming, these mistakes come. How the Jack Ma did it, how Bill Gates did it, how Obama did it. You know, when the tough day comes, it's not because you can avoid it, because when the problem comes, how you face it. With great attitude, then you succeed. Yeah.
Dr. Ma, other than that, I think one time you also mentioned that giving up is possibly one of the biggest failures that a person can do. But I think when it comes to young people, oftentimes we have our crazy dreams and we try to seek advice from older people or more experienced people who sometimes tell us that's not going to work or this is how you make it work. How do we make it happen such that we still continue our dreams, but at the same time we take criticism, but we don't give up? Because more often than not, that's what happens.
Yeah, if you have a crazy dreams, don't talk to your grandfather. If you have a crazy dream, very important is that you have to find the people around you. When we invest in a company, I want not only looking at the founder, I want to see the people who work with the founder, whether they do believe him. If he is the only person that believe in the dream, that's very dangerous. He's not a crazy dream, he's a crazy person. Right? You have to find a group of people who are all believe they're all crazy. Something interesting in it. Right? Because it's easier to make one person crazy, but if you make the whole team crazy, something interesting. This is what I did early days of Alibaba. I made a speech in America. Talk about the value, mission, and management way of running an internet company. That was very early, 2001-2. There is a guy, an American guy, sitting there saying, hey, this is a crazy guy. Internet have to survive first, to make profit, revenue, forget about kind of value, mission, and team working. You know, this is all lies. He said, you're crazy. I say, sir, welcome to Alibaba someday. So he came to Alibaba, spent a few days. The day when he left, he said, Jack, I thought you were crazy. Now I found 100 crazy guys in your company. Because we believe what we are doing. Yeah. It's easy to make you believe. But if you can make a group of team believe and continue to do it, that's it. So I think if it's crazy or not, the only testing is the idea. If you want to make a company, it sounds crazy, your customer love it. If the customer like it, your team like it, you know it's not crazy. If the customer does not like it, do not like it, your team don't like it, forget about it. You have to change yourself. Even if you have crazy ideas, don't believe you are always right. You have to learn. Alibaba in the past 18 years, we have changed at least 18 big major changes. We are not the Alibaba last year. Every year we are a different company. Yeah. Right. So you have to change all the time to be sure that we don't care about how the other people say you are crazy. We care about, is this something really different? Really make the difference. That's what we care about.
So a lot of the students here are young entrepreneurs themselves, and they have a lot of crazy ideas, and they want to make those ideas happen. Since you're the UNCTAD Special Advisor for young entrepreneurship and small businesses, what do you think the role of young entrepreneurs and small businesses are in the country and help making the country grow?
Good. Whatever idea you want to do it, the first thing advice I give you is think about what will you give up. Right? And next thing I want to give advice is how many years you want to reach for that goal. A lot of people have this idea, I want to be succeed next month, or next year, or next week. Forget about it. There's no such opportunity in this world that you can succeed next week. There's no better opportunity that can succeed next year. Because young people, most people like me, right? 18 years ago, we don't have money, we don't have technology, we don't have relationship, we don't have any powerful person supporting us. I started my business. 18 people, we only gather 50,000 US dollars. 18 people together in my apartment. So we don't have anything. And when I started Alibaba, when I started my internet business, year 1995, I started with 2,000 US dollars, borrowed the money from my relatives and friends. I was started. But I know one thing. People like us don't have money, technology, don't have any relationship or anything. We know we win for the future. I know if I start to do it, 10 years later I will win. And in the 10 years, what I will give up, who I will partner with, what the things will be differently. How can I live longer and instead of live happier? So the world is very interesting. If you want to live happier, you may live very short. If you want to live longer, life is very tough. Okay, you have to exercise every day. Right? So this is the life balance. So young people, when you have a dream you want to do, and think about how many years you want to make this thing happen. If you think it's about 3 years I can be successful, prepare for 10 years. If you think I have 5 years to succeed, prepare for 15 years. And then if you think 10 years will succeed, you may succeed in 8 years. So you should have a long preparation, determination. And these are all the things you have to think about. There is no great opportunity that will make you succeed next week, next month, next year. There is no such fancy great ideas. That's really crazy. Yeah.
I think I speak for Mikey and everyone here. This might have been 20 of the most insightful minutes of my life and our lives. So thank you very much for sharing your knowledge and experience with us.
Thank you.
On behalf as well of everyone, thank you very much. So we'll remember that to find out what we're willing to give up. Make sure not just IQ, but EQ and LQ as well. And lastly, never ever stop believing in our dreams. So thank you very much, Mr. Ma, for your time. And thank you on behalf of the students of De La Salle University. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Jack Ma, Mikey, and Van. At this point, may we invite RFM Corporation President and CEO, Philippine Center for Entrepreneurship, Go Negosyo founder, Presidential Consultant for Entrepreneurship, and Lasallian, Mr. Joey Concepcion, to share the stage with Dr. Jack Ma and continue the conversation on entrepreneurship.
Good morning. Hello, Jack Ma, now Dr. Jack. First of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Jack for an insightful discussion earlier. We were talking about a framework that I've been doing with the government for the past so many years, which focuses on mentorship, money, and market. The three most powerful M's in really helping our micro and small entrepreneurs. And I invited about 50 entrepreneurs here, most of them from the brick and mortar business. A number of them are in the digital economy. 3 of them are quite successful, and they will share their insights and questions with you. And I think the brick and mortar are here because they're scared of the changing landscape, the destruction that is happening in the way things are happening. So I wanted to ask you, do the old economy or the brick and mortar businesses have to fear that much? What is their solution to preventing themselves from disappearing?
Yeah, I think the old economy should not fear, but they should change immediately. The past 20 years, internet technology changed the world, but it will speed up next 30 years. And every 3 years, it's just like 30 years. So if you do not start to change, it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough. I'm not scaring people because I've been doing that in China for years, telling people that the new business model. So how, just like the older days, if you're using horses and buffaloes and the other guy use electricity, you don't have a chance at all. If you are doing business, still think about I design and I make and I sell called B2C, but the other guys, because the new technology, they become consumer to business, they become C2B. They become tailor-made. They're using the the social logistics network. They reach the market quicker, faster than you are. Not only they're using the internet to find customers abroad, across the board. They're using data technology much cheaper. You don't have a chance to win. So I think, please change quickly. It's not competitor killing you. It's the future kill you. If you kill yourself, and how you can change, embrace the change. Do not be scared by technology. Technology, I would say today is so simple and easy. The only thing, spend the time on that. I think because you're an entrepreneur, you're smart enough. If you really sit down together for 3 hours deep learning, it will change. A lot of people just don't like it. I think I don't. The world is so this world is so difficult to change as successful people. Successful people have millions of ways to tell you, I succeed yesterday. So you guys forget. So let us learn from young people. Today, technology, internet technology are so simple, so easy. And most of the internet companies like us, we're giving free technology, free services. Why not try free? Young people, because they try free, they succeed. So I would say, don't be scared. Don't be feared. Just go ahead. If you don't use it, it's just like last century, you refuse to use electricity. It's going to be dangerous. And by the way, it only takes about first 3 years. You will be totally different.
We talked about the 3 M's. One of the 3 M's was mentorship. La Salle is a great school. Great, wonderful school. I still have to get my diploma. I studied in La Salle, but I still should finish one more subject. That's the irony of all things. And I agree with Dr. Ma because you need EQ more than IQ in a sense. All my life, my passion is to help many of our micro-entrepreneurs. And we discussed the level of poverty here is the cause for our drug problem. And for us to enable our small entrepreneurs, many of them are survival entrepreneurs, to lift up from poverty, we have to create the next part of the 2 M's, which is the money side and the marketplace. What are your views to enable these people to cross and be able to access the money and the market?
Yeah. I think first, small business must have big dreams. And big companies should have small steps. Big company always think of big, you will fall down. Big companies should have small steps every week, every day, every year. I must reach this small. But small dreams, small companies should have big dreams. I now today serve 20 customers. How can I serve 200 customers in 2 years? How can I serve 2,000 customers? What are the ways that I can serve 2,000 customers? How can I make these 10 customers who are using my services that be happier, healthier, and continue to be? We try to make every customer of my company to be the advertisers or salespeople of our company. Because in this way, you have to make sure your product's good. But the government should build up the infrastructure of commerce. What is the infrastructure of commerce? Is it the mentorship? We should have a lot of business schools, not necessarily MBAs. I'm not a particular fan of the traditional MBA. The MBA, they make people sometimes very stupid. Because business is, you have to be flexible. You have to change yourself to me. It's not like everything can be standard, right? So we have the mentorships, and we also have the money reaching, market reaching, and also I think the technology reaching. So what we call is that this country, I cannot say I know a lot about the Philippines, but when I see over 100 million people, 99% of the business of this country are small, medium-sized companies. We should build up the infrastructure for supporting small business, making sure that every small business are able to reach the money. And today, it's impossible to let the big banks to do it. We should use a new technology to do it, which I call inclusive financing, can be done by the internet technology. Today, Alibaba in China, Alipay, we serve more than 500 million people, young people in China, using mobile phone payment. We don't have so many credit card in China. But people say, Jack, it's impossible to do the payment in China. In the past 15 years, people keep on criticizing us, say, how can you do payment online? You don't have a check. You don't have a credit card system. You don't have a credit system. You don't have enough banks. How can you do credit? Because we don't have the check. Because we don't have the credit card system. We make the most advanced payment system in the world. So, Philippines, I think you have the opportunity to make the world the best tech thing or fintech in the world, because you have so many mobile phones. You have more than 7,000 islands. It's impossible for banks to have offices in 7,000 covering everywhere. But mobile phone covering everywhere. We should make Philippines a cashless society. When you have a cashless society, everybody rich money. When cashless society, no corruption. And life is easier.
Totally agree. We have basically the two telco guys here, Ernest Koo of Globe, Eric Alberto of Smart and PLDT. Blame them for the slow internet.
No. Honestly, it's unfair to blame anybody. Let me say this. Where is the opportunity? Opportunity exists in the areas most people complain. If you can solve the complaint, you have the chance. When we started Alibaba, the speed of internet in China was terrible. Much worse than today's Philippines. Oh, much worse. Right? At that time, not even 3G. But that's not an excuse for mobile phone companies to let. Slow speed has slow speed services. Faster speed has faster speed services. But it's a great opportunity for the telecommunication companies to invest. This investment, I'm guaranteed, you will get the return back.
They're going into the 4G now, so that's going to speed up the internet.
I think this is the opportunity for everybody. If the 4G, the 5Gs continue to, it's going to make the country good, make everybody good, and finally will be good.
Before we go to the students to ask questions, I wanted to just call two successful techpreneurs, Robbie Antonio. Briefly, can you ask Jack Ma a question?
Hello. Morning, Mr. Ma. The smartest people in the world seems to be very divided in the issue of blockchain technology. What is your current stance towards this? I seem to have researched that you're predisposed toward it. And how does that conflict with the overarching goal of China banning the exchange and the technology?
Say that again. Blockchain technology.
Blockchain and bitcoins and cryptocurrency.
Okay, bitcoins, right? Well, I'm a believer of the blockchain technology. And we have a specific team in the company, Ali Anti-Financing, focused on researching on that. Because we are believer of globalization. We are believer of free trade. In the future, the global trade, global business, globalization, there are a lot of money transferring. What is the safest way? What is the most efficient way to do that? So we put a lot of efforts on that. So I would say, let me say this about technology general-wise. Company like us, we should not win our market by advertising dollars. We should win our market by innovation. Alibaba should not get our profit from the size of the business. We should get our profit from the technology that we be invested inside. We invested heavily 9 years ago, started on cloud computing and big data. Now for financing, we invested heavily on blockchain. But Bitcoin and this, I'm not a big fan of that yet. Let me say this. Company like us, I think last century, if you have a technology, you want to keep it to yourself. Today, in 21st century, if you have a technology, the only way to make you powerful is enable others, even enable your competitors. So we, Alibaba, will spend billions of dollars on technology. And when we spend the money on the technology, we are making sure this technology is inclusive to the others. So blockchain technology is the big investment that we invest in on that. But we, as I say, we also would love to partner with others.
Got it.
Okay. Robbie basically raised money on his company called Revolution. This is the first Filipino company who valued it at $1 billion US. So congratulations to this guy.
Yeah, thank you.
I have another very successful tech entrepreneur, Nick Stoliado of Surpass. Nick, can you ask your question quickly?
Hi, good morning, Jack. My question is around the EWTP initiative that Alibaba has taken. What are the implications of this for Southeast Asia? And I guess more importantly, for traditional businesses and retailers, how should they view the EWTP, knowing that it can be very disruptive to their current business models?
Thank you so much for this question. For EWTP, it stands for Electronic World Trade Platform. A lot of people don't like globalization. I think globalization did a fantastic job in the past 30 years. They pump up the global trade, but it's a growing pain. It's still a baby, only 30 years old. The problem is that it benefits 20% of the developed countries. 80% of developing countries don't have chance. Young people don't have chance. The globalization the past 30 years was controlled by 60,000 big companies. We think should at least 16 million or 30 million or 60 million small business, young people should be able to sell. Small business like anybody sitting here, entrepreneurs, Philippines, think about how you can sell your small business here, can sell products to China, to Korea, to Europe. As long as your service is good, product is good, you should be able to compete with any big companies. This is my belief. So EWTP is trying to build up a platform not organization. I feel sorry for WTO. When you put 200 government ministers in a one room to agree on something, impossible. Right? But if we put the 2,000 business people in a one room, we can agree on something. The only thing we want to do business. So EWTP, we work with WTO, is the 2.0 version of WTO, supporting small business, young people, that we encouraging every government to set free trade zones for small business. There are so many free trade zones in any country, but all these free trade zones are designed for big companies. For small business, if you want to sell things outside the country, the government will never give you 24 hours custom clearance. Big company can, you cannot. So we want to build up a process, a platform, a way of doing business. Then every small business, you can global sell, global buy, global pay, global delivery, and global travel. And you can have a marketplaces online, and this is what we believe. We come here, Alibaba come here to Philippines. Last night, I arrived like at 10 o'clock. We had a meeting, we had a meeting until later 12, for 2 hours discussing how we can build up the infrastructure of doing business in Philippines, the payment system, the marketplace system, the logistics system. When we build up that, the purpose is to making sure these small business can sell their things to China, to the other part, to Malaysia. Now, the EWTP, the first project we launched, is in Malaysia. And we hope that every country in Southeast Asia can join the EWTP. Every country have a free trade zones for small business entrepreneurs. There are marketplace rich, there are money rich, logistic rich, mentorship training rich, and IT rich. So they can do business. This is what I want. Anywhere in the world, any young people in any country, open a mobile phone, you can order products from everywhere in the world, and then get the products within 72 hours. And this is the goal that we want to reach in 20 years. And EWTP today, the first sample we're testing in Malaysia, very good. So far, it's very good. So when we have that model, we will bring to Asia any countries if we are interested in.
Thank you. And the last question from Mr. Libiste. The youngest entrepreneur we have here, he dreamed of putting solar panels in everybody's rooftop. And how old are you? 24. 24. Just 24 years old, and he's...
I just finished my university at 24.
Go ahead.
So your mission, sir, to use technology to uplift developing countries is so inspiring. And apart from the slowest internet, the Philippines also has the most expensive electricity, the worst traffic, and many other worsts. So I'd like to ask, what are your other ideas, apart from e-commerce and fintech, to solve developing world problems in energy, infrastructure, and agriculture to end poverty in the developing world?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, let us just say this. People consider Alibaba is an e-commerce company. First, we're not e-commerce company. We are e-commerce enabler. We do not buy and sell ourselves. This is the first. We are different from Amazon. Amazon, they buy, they sell, they are e-commerce. We help other companies to be e-commerce. Second, e-commerce is less than 20% of our business. So, Alibaba listed in New York State stocks, that's only 20% of our business. We ask ourselves one thing. 18 years ago in my apartment, our dream is to survive. Our dream is to making sure Alibaba will survive and be us the business. And today, we have close to 60,000 employees. We have so much cash. We have the greatest technology of the internet e-commerce. We have all the resources we have. What we want? We want to make more money? We think we should be the engine of innovation of the world of this century. We should be a company of the century, not a company of China, of company of Hangzhou. We should using all the resources, data, people we have to enable if you want to be company of the century, you have to make different. So we think we want to build up using these resources we have to build up the infrastructure that every young people, every small business, every woman can leverage this technology and infrastructure to do business, to culture. So this is our dream. And this is, I feel more excited about our revenue income or profit income. Although we have a good revenue, good profit, we love the things. We care about the job creations. We care about the efficiency of people doing. We care about young people have opportunities. We care about women leaderships. These things we care about. But if you really ask us what we would do for sustainable growth, what's the meaning of life? Is happy and healthy. We think after internet, we should making people that be happy, be healthy. So happy and healthy industries are something that we want to do. If you want to be healthier, healthy food, healthy environment, healthy water, healthy air. If you want to be happier, you should have the belief, you have the value, you have the dreams. I don't want to make our company become a company, a machine of making money. And this is how we do it. And to sustainable growth is that when you are healthy and happier, you can be sustainable. And if you want to be healthy, environment, water, food, and psychologically you should have a belief, religion, culture, and education. These are the things that using technology, if we can empower these things, we are the company that I feel proud for working day and night, that it's worth it. Otherwise, it does not make any sense for making more money. I cannot spend a lot of money. This is the tie-up I've given by, I don't dress like, I don't wear watch, no rings, no necklace. I think, how much money you can spend? You can only sleep one bed. You can only eat 3 dinners. That's the meaning of life, and this is what we want to do.
We have a couple of questions from the students. Are you ready? Where are you guys?
Ladies and gentlemen, so our esteemed guest, Dr. Ma, has been most kind to agree to answer some questions for our students. So for the students, please introduce yourself and tell us your year and major before you ask your questions. Okay, students.
Hi, Mr. Jack Ma. I'm a third-year industrial engineering student. My question is, what would you consider to be your biggest failure in life? And what did you learn from these experiences that you can share to us students?
Thank you. My biggest mistake that I don't want to make is the day when I retire, the company collapse. Right? This is what I don't want to see. Because everybody will sick, everybody will get old, everybody will die. We've been working hard for 18 years, and this company want to last 102 years. So we will never see Alibaba is successful because we're only 15, 18 years there, 84 years to go. In the next 84 years, we may have 100 times or maybe 1 million chance we disappear. So my job as a founder and CEO, how can I keep this company growing when I retire, when I leave this company, it still continue to grow. This is why I don't want, when I'm 80 years old, 70 years old, I'm still working the company. I should die on the beaches in the Philippines or not in my office. Because you don't want to see an older guy sitting 18 years old still be the chairman. That won't work. So every day I'm thinking about is, what if I leave the company? The company going to continue to grow. And if I cannot make that thing happen. This is the biggest mistake that I will make. And the lot of mistakes I do is that I can share a lot of ideas. The day when I retire, if I'm good at the writing, I will write Alibaba 1,000 mistakes. Any mistakes. For example, when you raise money, a lot of people when they raise money, the first thing they were looking for a fancy office building and decorated wonderfully, and start to hire great people, especially hire people from multinationals. That's a big mistake I've made. When I have the first $5 million US foundation, I start to hire people who used to work in the vice president of big companies. But when they came, they destroyed us. Because when you are a tractor, you borrow a Boeing 747 engine, put it inside, it's going to destroy your tractor. You should not find the best people. You should find the right people and working them, develop them, make your team the best people. There's no best people in the market. The best people is always in your own company. That's the mistake I learned, and I want to share with you.
Thank you.
Next. Okay.
Hello. Good morning. My name is Solen Lafo. I'm a third-year entrepreneurship student. Firstly, welcome to our university.
Thank you.
And thank you for visiting us. My question is, based on your experiences, what are the friendships that endure time and the ups and downs in life? My question is, based on your experiences, what are the friendships that endure time and the ups and downs in life?
What are the friendships that endure time and ups and downs?
Okay, the friendships, right? Well, I think the thing that make me go through all the tough days are the friendships. Let me say in this way, I don't invite any of my friends join my company from the first day. But when they join my company, I make friends with them. This is the advice I give you. Don't invite your best friend to form a company with you. Don't.
Totally agree. Don't.
Yeah, don't. I see so many tragedies. There are cases may succeed, but most possibly you will fail. It's better to make friends when they join the company, treat them. But when the company is that big, you cannot make friends with anybody. We can make colleague friends with them. So friends means when I'm in trouble, I talk to them. I talk to my friend, my colleagues' troubles. Even to today, early days, whatever problems I have, the company have, I tell them openly, I trust them. Right? What's the wrong? We're going to run out of money in 3 weeks, so what are you going to do? Don't shock them by problems. So, friendship means based on trust. My team trusted me, and I trust them. I know my team can do better than I am. And I know they can survive. When they are in trouble, I spend time with them. When I'm in trouble, I found many of my friends came to talk to me. They helped me. Yeah. Friendship, well, the difference between, let me tell you this. Business is about a friendship building. Friendship is about trust building. When you don't have friends, you don't have business. When you don't have trust, you don't have friends. That's all the thing. Very simple.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, students, okay.
So, hello, Dr. Jack. Good day. I'm Gio, and I am a third-year psychology major student. So, and here's my question. So, the trend today is that there are many young people who do things simultaneously. So, they have their full-time jobs while doing their studies, or doing part-time work, well, there are others who also wanted to pursue their plans or passion in doing business, and open up their businesses. So in the perspective of prioritization, what advice can you give to these young people who wanted to pursue their dream of doing business while doing these other tasks?
Say that again. Make it simple.
Okay, so given that the young people of today have a lot of things that they really wanted to do, what advice can you give to the young people of today in terms of prioritization? What advice can you give to them?
All right. That's good. First, let me say, young people have a lot of things to do. He wants to do a lot of things. It's better than a young people without anything he want to do. A lot of things you want to do, at least you have hope. I like these kind of people. But you have to focus on the things. And how to focus, what's the priority? My way, it's not maybe not correct. You have to pick up the things that you are really passionate about. You love to do it. When you do business, you have to do things you believe in. You love to do it. If you're not like it, if you don't like it, you cannot sustain. So you love it, and you have a passion about it, this is my priority. Do not pick up the thing that is important, or your father said it's important, you don't think so, it could go nowhere. So priority to me is when you are tiny, pick up the things you love, you are good at, you know that I can last long. Don't pick up things that is big, that will never last long, and the other people think it's big. So this is something that I was. And by the way, the priority of your choice of doing whether study or work are the same, learning. When you do the business, you learn from the business. When you school, you have to put all the knowledge into practice. A lot of people will leave the school without getting a degree and then go to do business, be entrepreneur. They say Bill Gates succeed. He did not finish the school in Harvard. There is only one Bill Gates. Don't do that. Right. Today it's much easier. Your school in the daytime, in the evening, open a shop online and buy and sell. Start to learn. It's a great experience. All join the students' union, support the people. All work in the part-time, the weekend, supporting these entrepreneur school companies. Be a person there working the weekend. You learn. So, sorry I speak a lot today because I don't think we can speak every year, but I want to tell something that is helpful. When you are 20 to 30 years old, please find a good boss. A good boss is better than a good company. A good boss will discipline you, train you, develop you. When you're 30 to 40 years old, try to do something. If you really want to do something yourself, try to do it from 30 to 40. When you're 40 to 50 years old, do something you are good at. Don't do something you don't know anything about. But when you're 50 to 60 years old, focus on helping young people. When you're over 60 years old, spend time with your grandchildren. This
Totally
is
agree.
80%, right? Not everybody, but most people doing that.
Jack, there's an entrepreneur here, a woman entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur. Her name is Miley Villanueva. Myla, you had a question for Jack. Is there a mic?
Microphone. And after this, we have 2 questions left for the students, so please prepare.
Hi, good morning, Dr. Ma. Your friend, Masa's son, has raised and is deploying a $100 billion vision fund around companies deploying the power of AI and the Internet of Things, and talks about singularity. I wanted to know whether you agree with him, you talk about it, and what are your thoughts around the area?
thought on AI. Yeah, I think Internet of the Things are the future, and artificial intelligence is such a hot topic. This is something different from the American way of artificial. I don't think artificial intelligence is a good word, proper word. I believe it's called machine intelligence. I think human beings have wisdoms, machine have intelligence, and animal have instinct. Today, the artificial intelligence is trying to make machine think like a people. Human beings only know 80% of their brains. And how can you make machine to learn from the 80%? And for example, when we judge people, we're using human eyes, we take pictures, we analyze. Why machine should take the picture, analyze like human being? Machine should have its machine ways. So I think today artificial intelligence in the Western yes, it's good direction but the wrong way. And Alibaba focus on machine intelligence. Machine should do things that human being cannot do well. Machine should learn like human beings, but machine will never be able to think like human beings. Human beings have the belief, have the religion, have the value, machine may not have. So what I would say is that all the university, especially primary school, kinder schools, we have to be very careful. The way we teach our kids today will make our kids 30 years later cannot find jobs. Because machines are much smarter than human beings. They can calculate faster, remember faster. So if we teach our kids the way we taught in the past 100 years, our kids will not find the jobs next 30 years because machine will take a lot of jobs of us. What are the things the machine can never do? This is something the education system, every country should pay attention to that. So this is what my view about artificial intelligence. And because of the data technology, everything, most of the Internet of the things is going to be made in Internet. Everything will be connected to Internet.
Okay, I'm sorry. We only have, one question, one final question from the students. And okay. And this will be the last question. I'm sorry we don't have much time. So thank you.
So, hi, Dr. Ma. I'm Jolo Kotaran, third year Industrial Engineering from the Gokongwei College of Engineering. So my question is, what is the one global issue that you are personally passionate in solving?
Yeah, the global issue that concerned me, there are a lot, but I think, as I say, sustainable growth, that every young people should have opportunities. And how can we have the young people have opportunities? We should enable them by technology. And we should change the education system, improve the education system. This is something worried me. If we do anything to control or improve the environment, but the way we teach kids, young people, are the same way we taught in the industrial time, it will go nowhere. So the thing I concern most is about education. We are okay now. If we do not know enough knowledge about what caused the environment problem, what caused the non-inclusive problems. So the things that we teach our kids, the education systems, that is the priority, because I was trained to be a high school teacher. I think a good education system. Let me finally, thank you. I'm very honored to be given the doctorate degree. But I was considered to be a bad student. Primary school, I never passed examination for key primary school. Never got good middle school. Never got, I tried 3 years for entering a university in Hangzhou. I never be the top 10 students of my class. Traditional way of education, I was considered to be a failure, a loser. But the way we do. So what are the things, something that we can do for the future? This is something that I'm thinking a lot about that. This is something concerning me. When we have a good education system, when we train our kids better, our kids will not make the mistakes that our ancestors and our generation have made. This is something that I concern. I really want to put efforts on that.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Jack Ma, Mr. Concepcion. Ladies and gentlemen, that was all the time that we had for our engagement. We are most grateful again to Dr. Jack Ma for graciously sharing his insights and ideas with us. On behalf of De La Salle University, thank you very much. Now, since this is for the students, may we invite the student leaders to please come up on the stage for a photo opportunity with our honor guest, Dr. Jack Ma. Okay, now may we invite the students in the audience will now have an opportunity to have a groupie with our guest. Okay? Okay. Yes. Please, for the students, for the audience, please just stand up. You don't have to go up the stage for the groupie. So Mr. Jack Ma will be here and then you'll go. So make sure you have your biggest smile with you. Okay. Baka mahulog siya. Yes. Okay, thank you very much. However, please kindly remain seated until the end of the recessional. For an orderly exit, guests from the orchestra section will be the first to leave the auditorium, to be followed by guests at the balcony areas. Our ushers will assist you on your way out. Have a pleasant day. Thank you very much.